You're listening to the SuitesFlow podcast.
Ciao and welcome from Mario and Alessia to a new episode of the SuitesFlow podcast. Developers don't lose deals because of price. They lose them because buyers don't trust what they can't see.
And today we're going to expose the great paradox of modern real estate marketing. I mean, why professionals keep selling in ways they absolutely hate when they're buying, and how simple honesty actually creates infinite returns.
Yeah, that opening statement, it really hits hard, doesn't it? Because it gets right to the core of this thing we call corporate amnesia. We're digging into ideas explored in the SuitesFlow essays today. And the central frustration is really this conflict within the industry.
Right, just think about it for a second. Everyone involved, okay? The capital allocator, the architect, the developer, even the marketing director. They all go home. At night, they're just people, consumers.
Totally. They've probably just spent a miserable weekend trying to rent an apartment themselves or maybe buy a house. They know the pain. Vague photos, Yep. High-pressure follow-ups. They know it inside out.
They absolutely know that feeling. You click one link, just one, and suddenly it unleashes this torrent of unwanted calls and emails. Irrelevant stuff.
But then Monday morning comes, they walk into the office, and it's like, poof. This weird professional transformation happens. The regular person with common sense just vanishes, replaced by the marketing automaton.
It's the corporate Jekyll and Hyde. It really is.
Yeah.
You somehow convince yourself that the exact tactics you hated 12 hours ago are now smart strategy. Essential even for your project.
And this amnesia, this forgetting, it's expensive. It leads straight to, two of the costliest failures we see in the business.
Yeah, let's break those down.
Okay, let's kick off with the visual deception, we call it. The $10,000 lie. I think everyone listening knows exactly what this is. It's that perfect airbrush rendering, digitally perfect of a unit that maybe doesn't quite exist yet, or at least not like that.
Oh yeah. It's always the same picture, isn't it? Two ridiculously good-looking people, like they just stepped out of a cologne ad, and they're laughing. Genuinely laughing over this tiny bowl of kale salad.
On a balcony.
That if you actually look at the blueprints, is barely wide enough for one chair, let alone this cute little bistro set they've imagined. It's fantasy.
And what really hurts about this $10,000 lie, it's the opportunity cost, isn't it? You've just blown, $10,000, maybe more, on a fantasy. And worse, it actually signals low trust to a serious buyer.
Exactly. That money. It could have gone into something real, something tangible that actually improves the unit, like better soundproofing maybe, or nicer light fixtures, upgraded landscaping, something people actually value.
And the lie isn't just visual, it's in the description too.
Oh, definitely. Instead of talking about utility, about reality, the marketing copy just dives headfirst into jargon. You read these 5 paragraphs about the synergistic, vertically integrated lifestyle ecosystem.
Or the curated amenity suite, whatever that means.
Right. And after all that high-level, corporate poetry, you still don't know the answer to the basic human questions. How loud is it outside my window at 7 a.m.?
Or, and this is a great example from the essays, does the trash room down the hall smell like last Tuesday? The real stuff?
Exactly. The human detail just gets completely lost in this fog of strategic vagueness. And then comes the second big failure, the immediate automated assault, the $5 spam.
Ugh, the spam. So you, the interested person, you click a button, it's innocent enough, just get pricing info, maybe learn more.
And bam, the timer starts. Before you can even put your phone down seriously, you've got 5 automated texts pinging you, 3 emails landing in your inbox.
And the sales team is suddenly calling you like it's an emergency. It feels less like nurturing a lead and more like, a police chase.
It's so aggressive and annoying. And yet think about this. Developers pay millions, literally millions every year for the systems and the tools that force this behavior.
They're paying for friction, paying to confuse and irritate the very people who showed the most interest.
It's just a stunning waste of money on tactics that honestly every single professional in that room knows they hate when it happens to them.
Okay, so if the pain is so obvious, everyone feels it and the costs are clear. Why does the system stay broken? Why do smart teams keep using the $10,000 lie and the $5 spam?
Well, I think it boils down to a couple of things, really. First, professional jargon kind of hijacks empathy. And second, the tools themselves start dictating the strategy.
Let's unpack the jargon first. You mean when teams start throwing around terms like optimizing the conversion funnel.
Exactly. Or leveraging push notifications for high-intent MQLs. The moment you start talking like that, you stop talking about people.
Right. Hold on. Let's pause there. For anyone listening who isn't swimming in marketing acronyms, what's an MQL and why does focusing on that make you forget about, I don't know, Laura, who needs to move?
Good question. So MQL is Marketing Qualified Lead. It basically means someone whose online behavior suggests they're more interested than just a casual browser. The problem isn't the metric itself. Okay, metrics can be useful, but it enables this dehumanization. When your whole focus is on the MQL, you forget the human being behind the click. You forget Laura, who's stressed because she has to move by the 15th, or the 30-year-old software engineer doing crazy spreadsheet math to see if they can swing the extra $200 a month for the unit with the dog run.
The language itself becomes a wall. It stops empathy. They're not people with real lives and real stresses anymore. They're just numbers in a funnel.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And then the tools step in and start calling the shots. A company sinks, say $50,000, sometimes way more, into a huge CRM platform, a customer relationship management system.
Okay.
And suddenly, the team's goal shifts. Subtly, maybe, but it shifts. It's no longer, let's help people find a great place to live. It becomes, I need to fill in all 17 required fields in this CRM screen so I don't get a nasty compliance alert.
So the tech becomes the boss, not the helper.
Yes. And that big investment then forces the behavior that creates all the friction we hate.
Okay, so because the tool can do dynamic pricing and the goal is optimization.
The system pushes these crazy algorithms that make you feel like you're bidding on some rare Pokemon card where the price changes every 5 minutes when you refresh the page, instead of clear, fixed pricing people want.
And instead of clear photos,
you get the creative photography. The super wide-angle lens making that tiny utility closet look like a grand ballroom. Because, hey, it's cheaper than showing the real thing.
And crucially, instead of feeling respected, like, your time matters.
You get hit immediately with that automated, high-pressure, 3 touch points in 6 minutes follow-up sequence. Because that's what the expensive CRM workflow is programmed to do.
Even if the building itself, the product is brilliant. Innovative design, great construction.
The experience of trying to learn about it or rent or buy there feels like trying to navigate a brand new electric car using a map from, 1998. It's totally a self-inflicted wound.
And friction, as you said, is where the deals die.
Absolutely. Valuable deals just evaporate in that frustration.
Okay, so if friction is the enemy, and the old tools just seem to crank it up, where's the competitive edge then? Because, you do need some way to filter leads, right? Some contact is necessary. If we just kill the $5 spam entirely, don't we risk losing people who are genuinely interested but maybe just needed a little nudge?
That's a really important point. The industry isn't wrong to want to qualify leads early on. The problem is how they do it. They use desperation, they use opacity, hiding information to force you into a conversation. Instead of using radical honesty to let people self-qualify.
So the edge isn't a fancier chatbot or spending more on ads. It's simply having a better memory, remembering how much you hated the process when you were shopping and then just fixing it for your customer.
That's exactly it. The whole strategy shifts. It moves away from control on the end, hiding info to force a sales call towards respect, and focusing on efficiency, but efficiency that comes from transparency.
And that's where this idea of the infinite return starts.
Yes. The ROI for honesty shows up everywhere. Shorter sales cycles, way less time wasted on leads who are never a good fit, even higher tenant retention down the line. It pays off.
Okay, let's make this practical. Strategy 1, stop running the $10,000 lie. How do we replace that fictional kale salad image with something real, something verifiable?
Developers just had to kill that budget line. The one for generic, idealized renderings, it's obsolete because the technology now exists to basically weaponize truth and do it at scale. The inventory itself, the actual units, becomes the marketing asset, the valuable, accurate marketing asset.
And when you say inventory, you mean not just the couple of model units downstairs?
No. We're talking about providing reliable, unit-specific virtual tours, accurate layouts for every single unit in the building. So that if you have 50 units or 300 or even 1,000, every single one.
Wow, okay. Yeah. And that info needs to be available right away.
Immediately. And it doesn't matter what the unit status is. Is it pre-construction, still just steel beams going up? Is it currently occupied by someone? Is it scheduled to be available 6 months from now? None of that matters.
Yeah.
The inventory is transparent. It's available to explore now.
That completely changes the game for the prospect, doesn't it? If they can see unit-specific tours, the real layout, the actual view at the window, They're building trust way before they even talk to a person.
And they can use things like an interactive 3D building model to see exactly where their unit is. Is it near the elevator? How close to the street? All those little details matter.
That feels like the new standard of value. It just eliminates that trust gap up front.
Which leads straight into strategy number 2.
Right.
Abolish the $5 spam by enabling self-qualification.
Right. Stop the immediate, desperate stalking the second someone clicks a button. You have to empower people, let them do the work themselves.
If you give prospects all the detailed info they need, right there at their fingertips, the real price, the real finishes, the actual view, guess what? They will self-qualify.
Makes sense. If someone sees the rent is $150 over their budget, or they just really hate the countertop color,
They'll rule themselves out instantly, without wasting 45 minutes of a leasing agent's time on a tour they were never going to convert on.
that's just pure efficiency through honesty then. The sales team saves hundreds of hours literally chasing people who were never really in the market for that specific unit.
And the leads that do eventually reach out, they're high conviction, they've already done their homework using the tools you provided, they're serious.
So to make that level of self-qualification possible, the tech behind it needs to be rock solid. You need things like customizable filters that actually work.
Absolutely. Filters that genuinely match what people are looking for. A point of interest map, a POI map showing you the nearby cafes, parks, commute times, and crucially, real-time availability updates that you can actually trust. Those are table stakes.
Okay, offering that kind of deep, unit-specific, verifiable information, especially at scale hundreds of units, pre-construction included, that sounds technically challenging. It must require a pretty serious engine behind the scenes, which brings us to VIM.
Exactly, VIM. It stands for Volumetric Information Multiplier. That's the proprietary engine that SuitesFlow developed, and it's what makes this kind of scale and reliability actually possible.
Volumetric Information Multiplier. Okay, it sounds dense. Can you break down what VIM is actually doing? Simplify it for us?
Sure. Think of VIM as the engine that gathers everything up. It collects, it organizes, it synthesizes all the data for a project. We're talking architectural data, the blueprints, the CAD files,
Okay.
geospatial data, so the precise location, the elevation, what's around the building, and all the visual data too. VIM merges all of these different inputs together.
So it's not just grabbing a pretty picture, it's taking the actual building plans and the GPS coordinates.
Precisely. And it uses all that combined, verified data to create these reliable, data-anchored digital twins of every single unit. And because the twin is anchored to real data, the CAD files, the site surveys, it's fundamentally incapable of lying. It has to reflect reality.
That's how VIM makes the invisible visible, even when a building is like years away from being finished, just a set of plans on paper.
Yep. VIM transforms that abstract information into a real navigable experience. You can walk through the unit digitally, and crucially, you see the authentic external view from every window on every floor, even before it's built. The whole focus is on trust made visible.
That feels like the key difference. When you remove the need for the buyer to constantly verify everything because the marketing is the inventory and it's anchored in truth, you just eliminate so much friction.
And that's where you earn that infinite return we talked about.
It connects perfectly back to that idea from the Paul Graham universe, doesn't it? That the winners are usually the ones who build something they desperately wanted themselves.
Absolutely. If you hated dealing with opaque, high-pressure marketing when you were looking for a place, why on earth would you inflict that on your own customers?
The winners in real estate over the next decade, they're going to be the teams who market their projects the way they honestly wished others had marketed to them.
They'll ditch the amnesia. They'll stop paying for aggressive automation that annoys people. They'll start with reality, with respect, and with truth you can actually verify.
And the moment you make that shift, you stop basically gambling on confusing people and you start investing in their conviction.
Well said. The return on investment for remembering what it's like to be human, for bringing honesty back,
Yeah.
it really is infinite.
See you in the next episode.
You're listening to the SuitesFlow podcast.